there's a bunch of stocks that I've bought over time that some of them liquidated, filed bankruptcy, and whatever. There are forms that I need to fill out there to waive my rights or to not waive my rights or whatever. I've been postponing that because it's been stressful, so I've been putting that aside. That needs to be done, I'm pretty sure, ASAP. Hopefully I'm not late on that. So tired. I'm so full. My head feels so close to exploding. It's an overwhelming type of feeling. Overall, I'm fine, as they say. The time is 13:26, August 31 on a Thursday, 2023. So it's 1:26 in the afternoon. I'm in bed. I've just eaten and exceeded all of my calories for the day. I shouldn't be PMSing, I think. I probably could afford to by now, but I know that this cycle, pardon the pun, of PMS started much sooner than I expected. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, it usually starts 2 weeks after the last period's first day. So the first day last period was on August 17, and August 31 would be 2 weeks. So I guess the first day was August 18th. So 2 weeks would have been September 1st. I feel like I should start this over, but I won't. Just excuse me, please. We're all normal humans here, just trying to have a supernatural experience. Just kidding. I feel like I heard that somewhere. I hope you're doing better than I am, or at least as well as I am, because I know that overall I really am okay. And like I said, it's August 31st. So tomorrow will be September. You're welcome. It'll be September tomorrow. I have taxes to do that were due in April. I extended, and therefore I have to do mine by October. There's another immigration situation that I have to do by October, but I think that I could have started in August, and the plan was to do that, but I think that's somewhere in there. I need to be up to date with everything else because immigration doesn't play, and therefore I've been telling myself I'm going to do my taxes. And the reason that I haven't done my taxes, partly apart from the fact that I don't know how to do them, it was easier when I had a W-2 paycheck type job. I don't now. I am self-employed. And last year, I didn't do my taxes for the very same reason. I didn't know how to do them. So this year, I will be doing last year's taxes, and I'll be doing this year's taxes. There isn't a lot of income to report. Last year, I'm supposed to do... Hold on. I feel like my brain isn't... I don't even know why I'm doing this recording because my brain doesn't even really function today. I would like to have passed out. These are the things that have been overwhelming my mind. I want to do my taxes. For the longest time, I was using Credit Karma to do them on my phone. Very straightforward and 100% free. Now, when you click onto Credit Karma, Well, at least last year when I tried to do my taxes, because it wasn't for a lack of trying. When I tried to do that, it took me to Cash App, which I wasn't registered with because I don't send people money here, locally or nationally in the US. And I don't receive money like that, like via Cash App. So I was like, I don't know what's going on here. I signed up. I don't know what was going on. It kept telling me that it was free, and then apparently it wasn't. And some people say use free text USA or whatever, and they say that one's 100% free, except you only pay $15. I'm like, that's not 100% free. And apparently if you go to IRS, there's something there that says click here for a list of government approved places, and they will help you do your taxes for free. And then you go to the internet to find out about those. Then the internet says, no, they can help you do those taxes, but only the state taxes will be free and the federal will not. Federal, if you don't know what the difference is, obviously state is just the state of California, in my case, because that's where I reside. And then federal will be across the country. And I'm like, okay, so all this, basically there aren't any more free things. I just wanted to know, and I do tend, and I hate to admit this, to get stuck in analysis paralysis. I will be stuck, like, obviously I've been stuck in that now. We've entered the second cycle of the taxes. So that's one thing I need to do. I probably should do a list of these things because these are important, and I didn't know what I was going to talk about when I hit record on this thing. That is one of the most important things that I have to do. I only have 1 month to do them, the month of September. And then I have to do the immigration thing within that very month. It really is a matter of just sitting down and doing it. So what if it's $15? Then do it and pay $15. Shoot. And so taxes, government, immigration, whatever. The third thing, something about my utilities, Edison, whatever. So that's another serious formal paperwork thing that needs to be done. My retirement fund I registered when I was working the W-2 job as a truck driver. And I don't know if it has anything to do with that. Okay, here's the story. I registered there with one of the retirement 401ks and IRA, what's the IRA and whatnot, right? Fair. Then I started loading. I feel better knowing that I've invested at least the $6,500 or $6,500 maximum. I don't know if it's still the same amount in 2023 towards my IRA for a single individual. Now, I feel like single individual is an oxymoron. What's the word? It's redundant. Having done that, I don't really know what I'm doing in that sphere. So I've been studying and listening to podcasts and whatever. And I was like, oh, you know what? At the time when I was working as a truck driver, I had a very strong feeling that was going to be my last real job, because I've been tired of working for a while, but I really got really tired last year. Oh, there's a USPS truck leaving, and I have nothing to ship today. Yet, I do have some things that just sold on eBay, the Lovely Brook. Hopefully, that's the name of my store still. I accidentally changed it when I signed up with another store, when I registered a new store. And I thought I was naming the new store, but I was still logged on to the previous one because I put the fingerprint and it flipped me back to the previous store that I just logged out of. Just the kind of stuff that makes your head spin. This happened this month, a few weeks ago. And they said, you can't change back. Now you have to, for 30 days. I thought, okay, fine. I'm going to create a third store and use that name, because now nobody's using it before anybody takes it. And they were like, no, nobody can take that name for 30 days. So I'm going to sit by the telephone, hopefully on the 11th hour of the 30th day, or at least the 31st day, I will still have access to my name. I've been promoting my store for the longest time as The Lovely Brook. I would love to keep that name. Thank you very much. Add that to the list of things that I need to do. It's also paperwork, obviously. Then, back to the IRA. There, I decided, okay, from how I was understanding it, the taxes and the pre-tax and post-tax, I was like, I don't even know why this is. I feel like, why is this even an option? Oh, you can put your pre-tax funds in there. What do you mean? If I'm loading my IRA myself after I've received my check from the government, is that not post? That's after they've taken the taxes, not the government, but when I get my check from the employer. I'm going to be all over the place on this because I'm really, in my head is just not in the right place. So you're giving me my paycheck after you've taken out taxes. I really need to call these people and find out how it works. So I started doing traditional IRA. And then I found out that I might be doing it wrong because I thought those were pre-tax funds. I'm like, wait, how are they pre-tax? I'm finding this out way later. How are they pre-tax? Oh gosh, I need to call them right now. So now I put them in pre-tax traditional IRA, which means they're going to be taxed when I try to take the money out, but they shouldn't get taxed because these are after I've already paid taxes on them. So I'm doing it wrong. Now I need to, that's another thing that's serious that requires paperwork and a phone call and some forms. Another additional stressful thing. So I'm like, okay, there's a bunch of stocks that I've bought over time that some of them liquidated, filed bankruptcy and whatever. There are forms that I need to fill out there to waive my rights or to not waive my rights or whatever. I've been postponing that because it's been stressful, so I've been putting that aside. That needs to be done, I'm pretty sure ASAP. Hopefully I'm not late on that. And also, I need to watch, because it's like day trading type, it's penny stocks. So I need to watch. There was a time when those stocks, some of 50% of my stocks didn't do well. I got very discouraged and very bummed out, and I ended up losing more money. So I feel like this is dark. I need to go back there and either liquidate those stocks or whatever. I feel like I might be losing even more money now. Some of them will even end up liquidating because I'm postponing it and I don't want to deal with these things. And I'm forgetting how much fun I used to have when I was winning, and I haven't even been buying stocks. Even when I see that it's a price that I would like to buy it, I'm just so what's the word? Trigger happy? No, what's the opposite? Gun shy. Wow, trigger happy and gun shy. And I'm like, ugh. So now I'm like nervous. It's like being heartbroken in a relationship and not ever wanting to date ever again, which is kind of what I've done as well. So that's another thing I've been postponing that needs to be taken care of. A lot of my funds have been sitting in a savings account. Yes, I'm earning interest. Yes, I'm earning one of the higher interest rates, but it's not high enough for all of my life savings. I need to spread out my funds and buy serious different things. One of the things I wanted to buy was a house. I didn't get around to that because things happened. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to buy a house last year when I had planned to do so. So I had to keep my money for more than a year after. Then I wasn't able to buy this year when the year started, and then again now in August. So there were 3 chances that I was looking at buying, and all 3 chances fell through. So it's another thing that needs to be revisited. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that money that's sitting in the savings account. It's opportunity cost. The house next door, I live in a duplex. I bought a duplex because I wanted to make money out of the second one. The second one's just sitting there. I did start fixing it up when I moved in, and maybe I will listen to this again because it's so difficult to do. Just going over only things that I don't ever want to think about and going over only things that are stressful and heavy. It's rough. But maybe I'm going to soldier on, and then hopefully I'll come back and listen to this again and check the things off. Hopefully this will be my wake-up call to get up off my butt and do something. The house next door is another opportunity cost situation because it's just sitting. It's a lot of opportunity costs that I think about. I'm like, oh my God. So it's sitting there. I'm just paying for the taxes and the whatevers. That's another thing. So I decided really kind of against renting it out because I don't want somebody this close proximity to me. I could use the money. My online stores are not doing that great. That's one of the reasons I opened up a second one. And I've been loading items on there. The sales are just nowhere to be found. I have sold since opening up, thank you God. However, we are approaching a long weekend starting tomorrow of, is it Memorial Day? Veterans Day? I don't know. I think it's Memorial. September 4th or whatever. And maybe people are out of town or getting ready to go out of town. They're not trying to buy clothes from the lovely Brook. So it would be nice to make more money, but I don't want to do things I don't really want to do, like renting out my place and being stuck with people sitting on the porch staring at me all day, not paying my rent, and me being stuck with them for a minimum of 3 months while doing the eviction process. That's going to cost money. I know that's negative and dark, but don't really want to deal with that. I feel better knowing that the house is just there. But if I could buy a single family home, move into, hopefully with a pool and a tall fence, so there's nosy losers in the small towns who sit on the porch and stare at me from all angles cannot do that. And sell this duplex, that would be nice. I don't really have an intention of renting them out. Just fix it up and sell. Take the profit, rinse, repeat. And leather. Now, that's another thing, right, that needs to be done. I would like to learn a little bit how to set up my own website. I feel like by now I should know because I've been wanting to know this for probably 20 years. I like to do like basic stuff on the internet, like HTTP or whatever that language, and set up a website and whatever, and maybe do other people's sites just randomly, even if I do a few per year for money, and maybe several for myself. Even if I do none, it's just one for my sister, just for my family. But definitely for myself, because there's so many things that I feel like if I had my own websites, but I have the concept, and I'm like, it would be nice, but I don't really want to pay thousands to somebody and then rent their services every month. Like, no, because I'm pretty sure I can do that myself, because I know that people do that themselves. Some don't, but I would like to. So I'm like, I can go to like college online and do some kind of courses that have the things that I want, but I'm not a big fan of school. I'd like to do creative writing, is that what it's called? So that I can be a published author. I don't have to go to school for that. I can figure it out on my own, but I feel like I would benefit from that. Get financial aid and do you, boo. Hopefully get a free laptop in the process, because I need a new laptop. My laptop basically doesn't work anymore, and hasn't in almost a year. My iPad doesn't work. The battery is swollen. I tried to charge it the other day. My phone stopped working. doesn't charge and the speaker doesn't work. So I've been using headphones, and the headphones got stolen the other day. This is not a thing about things that are negative in my life. It's just things that need to be taken care of. So I ordered AirPods on eBay, and it turned out to be a scam website. So tomorrow eBay will step in, but I have to wait until then. I purchased them, I think, on around the 1920 of August. So it's been about 10 days of almost 2 weeks of just in the back of my mind dealing with somebody knowing that I'm being scammed, but not having to follow the procedure, protocol, whatever. I mean, I could just have gone to my credit card and asked them to refund me, but it's not a lot of money. I'll wait for eBay because I want that person to end up getting a negative review so that they cannot continue doing this on that particular website. Profile name. Unfortunately, there were no reviews when I started this whole process, and now there are 2 negative ones explaining exactly the same process that I'm going through. That's how they were scammed. I wish they had started doing that already by then, but maybe we all got scammed around the same time. So I lost my headphones, and the headphones that I bought I cannot get. Now I'm completely out of headphones. Then I was out of a car for that hurt my heart just thinking about that, for all of August. And that's not something negative, it's something super positive because it's in my driveway now. Kind of would like to go to Mexico, but it just got fixed after a month and a half. And I'm like, maybe I should go closer. Don't drive all the way to another country in a car that just got fixed. At least maybe to test drive it, go somewhere closer. Yeah, I've test driven it around town, but it's a 2-mile radius town. We can't compare to that. And I do have money to go on a vacation. I have a separate account for my Play money, and that money hasn't been touched in at least 6 weeks. Thank God for that. And I have replaced my iPhone. So that's good news. Those are things that I've been working on. Ordering, researching a phone, ordering one, waiting for a screensaver, waiting for a charger, getting a this, getting a that. It's all the things I've been dealing with in my mind, all while trying to stay sane, all while trying to maneuver life with small town mentality people. I got to know them a whole lot while I didn't have my car, because I didn't have the security and the protection of getting in my own car and doing my own errands, coming back to my own home and living by myself. I had to intermingle. Somebody said, I'll give you a ride there. If you pay me $10 for this, you can get a ride there. Or I'll pick you up in an hour, and then somebody else coming to pick me up. Now, I don't want to be a bad person, and I'm already ready to go with my list of things to do. But it turned out to not be the person who said they're coming, and I only would have gone if it were that person. Now somebody just that period, because it's been so stressful and so overwhelming, and they all didn't come from the light and love. It was just manipulative and sneaky and whatever. Really made me hate these people in this town. Honestly, if it were up to me, I would move the fuck out in the middle of the night from this town. Maybe I am angry. Off the top of my head, those are the things that are stressing me out right now, and because they all need to be taken care of. So, and I've been approved to go to therapy, which, as you can tell, I needed 2 different kinds of therapy. I've been approved to go to a specialist, by a specialist. I was referred by my doctor to a specialist referred me to another specialist. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Everybody's just trying to get some money out of this whole thing. So it's 3 hours away. Last time I didn't have my car, so the health insurance had somebody come here and pick me up, and it was nice. No, I just don't get along with people. I get along with people, but I don't really like people like that. I'm going to find something, I don't know if it's them or it really is me, that's going to be like, just keep them at arm's length. And they're going to prove me right. Maybe because I'm looking for them to prove me right. What am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at my sunglasses sitting on my iPad, on my laptop that's glossy. So I'm seeing the sunglasses that are orange reflected on the glossiness of the lid of the laptop. And I forgot that there's a laptop there. So I'm like, are these sunglasses broken? Why are the ear parts of them up there and the eye part of them all the way there? It turns out it's a reflection. I feel like going for a walk. I don't feel like going for a walk, but I should. I haven't worked out at all this week, and it's Thursday today. I think the last time I went for a walk was on Thursday. It wasn't even a 100% walk. Somebody gave me a ride back. I would like to... one of the things that really bug are those people, the last group of people that I was around. But we can talk about that some other time. It really was like, wow. When you find out that somebody really is a snake, when you thought that they were a good person, that shit will fuck you up. When you're somebody like me who's sensitive, and then you're hormonal. So now, thanks to this chat that we just had, I'm going to go ahead and call the retirement people. I stuffed my face, and then I went to sleep because I was like, I'm just going to go to sleep. But then I was like, let me take care of the Edison electricity thing because I thought it's due by the end of August and it's 31st today. And I was like, you know what? I know that there was another thing that was overdue because I was so focusing on ordering car parts from Europe that anything else took a backseat because I needed to know that my car was working. That was the main stressor in my life. It just opened me up, the vulnerability, and having all these negative energy people around me. It was not fun at all. But I guess it had to happen so I can know who I'm dealing with. Everything happens for a good reason. So, yeah, that thing ended up lapsing, and I was like, lapsing. I was like, okay, it's late, let me submit it. And I filled out the forms, and I put them in the mailbox, and Hurricane Hillary hit. I feel like I'm those people who have negative story after negative story. Maybe those stories are legit because I haven't stopped in almost 30 minutes with negative shit. Maybe I really need a hug, and I have been going through a lot. So Hurricane Hillary hit, and my thing was even more late because the roads were messed up and USPS truck wasn't coming here. Of course, my mechanical parts had arrived, one from, I think, Michigan or Florida, and the other one from Europe. They were in the next town, but they couldn't make it to me, so I had to wait a little bit longer, knowing that they're already here. That was hilarious. Honestly, I laughed at that because what are the chances? Living in the desert and we have a storm. What? So I did submit that, and I was like, today I was like, instead of resting, my brain is just like, so I'm like, let me just double check if those people did receive that. I go on the website and it says, we're doing maintenance today. They say they're doing maintenance on September 1st, but it's August 31st, and it looks like they already started with their maintenance. So I try to call them, and while calling them, it says, is this about this, that, and the other? And they have received those paperwork. So I can minus that from my list. And the Edison thing says everything is up to date, which I don't think that it is because I haven't submitted the forms, but okay. I'm going to have to wait a little bit, but I have until October for that. Well, actually, until I have 2 weeks more in September to take care of that. So I have to put that on the list. So maybe I have to listen to this every day and use this as my to-do list. I feel like everything is due in October. Hopefully all my property taxes have been paid. I've been double checking that, and the sewer bill and the this bill and the that bill, because those are the bills that don't come off automatically. I really would much rather everything came off automatically. The car is back now, but it's due for a smog test, so we have to take care of that. I have to start that as soon as possible in case it doesn't pass, and I have to keep driving the car and retesting and whatever. I have from now until November, so basically until October, to have 2 months to take care of that. I would like to start getting ready with that as soon as possible, like I said, so that I give myself enough time to pass the smog. Hopefully I just pass it right away. And I found out recently that it's $50-something here in our town. Well, the next town over. Meanwhile, it's like $30 everywhere else. So that's daylight robbery. I am planning to go out of town. Maybe when I go out of town, I can have that taken care of there. I was thinking of going to Mexico to make up for the fact that I haven't traveled in 6 weeks. And also while I'm out there, I was thinking on my way back, I can get my global entry interview. I've been conditionally approved. I just have to show up for an interview. So I was like, okay, maybe drive across to Mexico, and then when I drive in, go and have that taken care of. But I don't think that it's right at the border for the town that I want to go to. The town I went to last time, I went to the wrong entrance. Should have gone to the north, not the east or the west. It was just like some bullshit that left me crying then, because it was like, are you kidding me with this? And then when I got there, they said, no, we're closed for the day. You should have come several hours early. That's what really made me cry. It wasn't the fact that I went to the wrong gate. It was the fact that I went to the wrong gate, drove an hour to the right gate, and when I got there, they told me it's closed. And it's 7 hours away. So I'm not, or 5 hours. Like, I'm not driving 5 hours away for a hopeful chance. And of course, I couldn't for 6 weeks. So there was other things that I was thinking about. I need to get that global entry so that whenever I go to Mexico, I can take care of that. I was also thinking of getting a Mexican insurance, maybe for the whole year, so that I don't have to think about every time I go to Mexico, get one. So maybe next year we'll do that. I don't know. And I've been looking seriously for flights to South Africa. I would like to spend Christmas with my family for the first time in a long time, but those flights are $2,000. That's a lot of money, even for me. And I wouldn't like to use my savings. I don't have much because the business is not going that great. I have enough to take care of my bills and some leftover money, but I really would not like to use my savings for a flight home. So hopefully between now and November, so September, October, 2.5, 3 months, I can make enough money to be able to pay all my bills and have money for a flight home. Not $2,000, less than $1,000. Thank you very much. Otherwise, I'll just have to go when the flights are less than $1,000, whatever that means. But hopefully before the end of this year. The last time I was there was November last year for the very same reason. I wasn't going to pay a lot of money, and I got a good deal, and I stayed there, whatever. So I'm thinking of that. That's another thing that needs to be done, to stay on the internet again and search flights. And the longer you search for flights, they're tracking you while you're tracking them, and then they start increasing those particular flights. So good luck with that. I know that sounded negative right now, but I think that's how the world goes. So that's another thing that needs to be done. That is why sometimes I feel like I need an assistant. And I have to worry about watching my calories, thinking positively, not being depressed, taking a bath every day, making sure the crickets don't come in. At least now I'm sleeping. There was a time when I wasn't sleeping due to crickets. That's done. Knock on wood. I have to think about all these things, like, oh, why don't you start a podcast? Why don't you blog some more? Why don't you update your YouTube channel? From where? From the iPad that's broken, or from the laptop that's broken, or from the second laptop that doesn't work, or because all my videos are on all the things that are not working. So those things need to be fixed. That's going to cost money. It's not really a money issue, a lot of my problems. It's just being overwhelmed and not having a hand and having to do everything by yourself. I think that's it. Thanks for listening to my negative rant. I'm at Baba Labrook everywhere, where I say more positive things. Wish me luck. Thanks. Bye.